Welcome back for another term. I wanted to do a new greeting for just kind of go over some of the policies and the classes. I've got different classes this term, and just talk a little bit about what I expect and what you can expect from the class, and just kind of greet you guys again. I'm back here at the school today, and so I may use my whiteboard and markers, and if runs out, I'll still see if I've got it to make it over in the trash can. But anyway, I just kind of want to go over a few of the things. Plus two, now that we're several terms online, I know most of you guys have probably had an online class at this point. I know I have a few new students, so this will be all new. And so I want to just touch up with some of the common, I guess, I don't want to say the word mistakes, but just common things that we can fix, hopefully right here at the beginning. And that way going forward, you know what to do and kind of what I'm expecting. But first off, a few of the things that haven't changed and that we need to cover and make sure you know is tests are 70% of your grade. Homework is 30%, or we say classwork is 30% of your grade. So tests really drive your grade still. So make sure you're doing those tests. One thing I will say on that, I have students that will miss here and there for different things, and that's understandable. Things happen, things come up, especially where you're having to juggle all these things with online learning. But just know, don't leave a test a zero. So, that deadline of when it's due the following Friday, you want to make sure that you get that test score in, okay? So what I mean by that, the following Friday, just to cover, okay? So you'll have classes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's say you take a test on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whatever day of the week you take. You have, to the end of that week and the whole next week to that Friday to turn that test in. So you have the following Friday of the following week to get that in. And so you definitely don't want to leave that a zero. One other thing too that started a few terms ago is at midterm, so a middle, usually about 4.5 weeks in, everything from the first half is due. Now that doesn't apply to tests. They still fall under those Friday guidelines. So they're due the following Friday. Doesn't matter where it falls on midterm. But all your assignments that you've had up until that point to turn them in to get any points for them has to be in by the midterm for the first 4 weeks. After the midterm, and you go to the end of the term, then at the end of the term there'll be a deadline that we'll send out reminders, say, hey guys, the end of the term is next week. Everything will be due for those 4 weeks here from midterm to end of term. So make sure you're kind of following those. We don't have a lot of deadlines, but those are school policies. So make sure you get those things in those time frames. Then as far as my assignments, and this is pretty well true for all my classes. Now there may be a little bit difference if I've got a class that's kind of new and we're doing some different things, but I'll explain that individually each class. But just so you know, if you've got an assignment, let's say you've got my geometry class or a math class, and let's say we do we do angles, and we do an assignment on that Tuesday, and you have to turn in that assignment. In order to be counted present that day, you have to turn it in by midnight, or 11:59, I think is what it said. So make sure you get that in to be counted present that day. I can't, if you, let's say Friday or even Thursday, you turn in that assignment from the couple days before, I can grade it and I can give you a grade, but I can't go back and mark you present, okay? You have to have that in by that deadline to be counted present for that day. So kind of watch your absences, because if you go over absences, you may be turning things in, but they may always be late to where you're counted absent. So just keep that in mind. That's one thing I've noticed. I have a few students that, and like I said, reach out to me if there's things going on that you need to work out, like a time frame. But I have students turn things in continually late, and so they're being counted absence now. I'll grade the things that they turn in and put their scores in, but I can't go back and change it to present. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as my assignments, this work could range on a different class, but let's say I'll use PE as an example. So my PE class, like every day, we've got a 10-point assignment of your workout for that day. Well, if you turn it in on time and you did it correctly, you'll get the full 10 points. If you turn it in late, I do a 3-point deduction and you get 7 out of 10. So you still can get points for it turning it in late, but it is going to be a deduction, okay? That's to make sure you're staying on top of the class work on time. Especially, you know, really in some of these classes that build on each other, like my math classes or the comp and film class I'll be teaching, and even music, it goes in a progression. So if you're falling real far behind, it's not as helpful to you to turn something in really, really late as it would have been to do it when it was due so that you can be ready for the next thing. Okay, so keep that in mind as you go forward. We still have the attendance bonus. So at the end of the term, if you've not missed any classes to one class, you can miss one, you get 5% bonus, and that does help students. I've seen them go from a B to an A and from a C to a B and so on. If you miss 2, you get 4%. 3, you can get 3%. 4 absences, you can get 2%. And 5 or less, or 5 absences, you get 1% added, and that's just on your homework. But it raises your grade, it raises your overall grade by this much. Anything over 5, you don't get any of the attendance bonus. So those are the breakdowns. And like I said, I've seen it help. Now, 2 stipulations on that is that it goes in as extra credit, so the numbers kind of look funny at the end, but always make sure it exactly raises you. That's the nice thing about being a math teacher. I can go in and make sure the percentages are exactly right. But, you know, I make sure it raises you that, but it goes in as a bonus. Also, it cannot raise you above 100% in the class. So I've had that happen where a student has a 98.2 or something and they never missed, which is why they got a 98.2, just hint, hint. They did really well, always turned everything in on time, stayed up in the class. And I could, even though they're eligible for 5%, I could only raise them the 1.8 to go up to 100%. I couldn't raise them above 100%. So keep that in mind. I don't think I've addressed that before, and so I want to make sure you know why that is. As far as turning, I've never covered this before. I think on a separate video in times past, I've talked about turning things in. I really want to address this here. This is why I want to kind of clean this up a little bit so that we're very, very clear on how to turn things in. I have 2 types of turn-ins, depending on the class that it is. I'll cover both of them here so that you're aware of what those are. But I'll use as an example, I'll use my music class, and you could even include like film class in that. Some of you that are in there. I'll throw PE up there as another example, and then I'll throw any math class I've taught, like geometry or applied math, algebra. So these are my examples. Okay, when we use Google Classroom, I use the stream a lot, okay? I make my announcements there, you know, hey, something's coming up, you know, a deadline, or, you know, hey guys, do this and listen to this and that kind of thing. But every day I post something on the stream for your assignment. So like music, I may post a video of me talking about, I'm gonna put, that's my box for a video. And I'm gonna put, let's say I talk about timing, okay? So I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I talk about timing in that. So I'll post the video of me talking and you'll watch it. And then maybe at the end of that video, I'll say, okay, I want you to do this. Or I may post a question that goes along with that. And the question will be under your classwork. Okay, so this goes under the stream. And the question may be like, what timing is this song? Okay. So on the stream, you've watched the video, and then the question that posted was, what timing is this song? And what you can do on a question, or if it's something in the video that I say, hey, I want you to answer this question, you can just type your answer. You can click on the thing. Now this will be blank, because it's not an assignment where like I have you answer questions on there. That will be the question. And you'll just type, well, the timing was a 3/4 timing or a 4/4 timing. And so you'll answer the question and you'll type it, or you're welcome to take a photo of, like, you can do, like, if you want to write something out on paper, take a photo of it and submit your photo there. That's how you turn something in, in that setting. If they're essay questions, probably the easiest thing to do is go ahead and just type up the answer on there, and then you don't have to, do anything else. Make sure you hit turn in though, because if you just type it, it sits there and still shows missing until you actually turn it in. So that's usually how I do like a music class or a film class, or I post a video that you watch or some kind of assignment that I have you read, and then you answer the question, okay? Film class, maybe, I have you read I'll have a reading portion that you'll read through, or a clip from a film I want you to watch, and then I'll have a thing of questions there that you can answer on the question, on the classwork. Okay, PE, same thing. I'll maybe have you watch a video. So this video is a guy running, and we'll just put little like wavy things because he's running, okay? That's the universal sign for running, in case you were wondering. I just made that up. But you can see a guy running, and you watch it, and you watch whatever you're supposed to watch, and then maybe I'll have you take notes. Say, hey, I want you to take notes on this video, if they give you facts. So you're taking notes, you're writing, and I know it looks like the running sign, but that's slightly different. That's notes. That's the international sign for notes. And so you're gonna take notes on the video, and then upload the photo of your notes for that assignment, okay? So that's a little bit different. Also in PE, and I'll go through this more directly with just your class if you have a PE class with me, but every day I'm gonna have you do a workout, some kind of workout, and I'll explain that more what that is, and you'll answer what you did that day. So that will every day post in the classwork was like, what workout did you do? So that will be every day. As far as math, it will be a little bit different because usually I have a video of me teaching math, okay? And at the same time I could be running, so I'll use that universal sign, and I'll be talking about math. Math is awesome. And I know that awesome is outside of the bubble, but it's okay. So I'm saying math is awesome, and I'm going on about it. What I want you usually to do on that is to either take notes, or at the end of the video I'll have like 10 or 15 questions. And you're going to answer those questions, and you can do it on paper, okay? And you do it on paper, you take a photo, you upload that photo, and I'll have videos showing you how to do that. You take a photo, upload that photo, and that'll be your assignment for the math. You can type the math. It's sometimes hard with some of the symbols that we use or shapes that we use to type. That's why I do the option of being able to take a photo, okay? So that's why math is sometimes a little bit different, because it's you having to do it on paper and having to take a photo, because typing sometimes is not an option for that. So that's kind of a breakdown to make sure you know what is happening. Those that have had my classes kind of get into that routine. Another thing I want to point out is every day there will be some kind of an assignment. Okay, so, and I try to always put the date or a very descriptive thing. So like if I'm doing triangles one day, then on the classwork it'll be marked triangles. So that you know from that day, let's say that's March 30th assignment or something, then you know, hey, I gotta look for the March 30th triangles to turn that in. Then another day I may say April 4th notes over, like let's say we're doing PE, over I'm trying to pick a word that's not hard to spell, over lung health. And so on April 4th, you'll find the assignment, and you know to turn it in the April 4th notes turn-in spot, okay? So I try to always put that so you know which one, because I have students sometimes, they'll miss a couple days, they don't know what they missed, and they're turning in the wrong assignments into the wrong places. Always go to the day you missed, and it's there on that day on the stream, and it'll be that day in the classwork, okay? So that hopefully will explain a little bit what I'm looking for, how to turn things in, how each class is slightly different, but a lot of them are kind of the same. And then I will be posting 2 videos specific to your class. So it kind of explains where we're going in the class, because I think it's good to kind of know in advance, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, you know, and what I can expect and how to, you know, which time frames it's going to be. And so we can go through that. And but it is, you know, like I said, I just can't wait to be back, be talking to you guys directly. But hopefully this video will help you kind of see some changes and to make sure that you're staying on track with the online. Now I know I've made it back to where I have marker stuff all over my face and hands, so that's, you know, something I've avoided until now. I probably have marker all over my face now, and it's on the internet forever to see, but anyway. So hopefully we have a good term. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll look forward to this term. Thanks, guys.